Thank you for that introduction, Ben. As Ben said, I'm an executive and business coach based in Queensland, Australia. For the last 11 years, I've been coaching business clients throughout Australia and the rest of the world. My clients pay me more than 50,000 Australian dollars each year, or a shade over 55,000 US. We share one 60-minute session by phone each week. We average 40 sessions a year together. Clients continue coaching with me for an average of 3.7 years, and that's still rising. That compares favourably with an international average of something less than 6 months. Though we manage our time together very tightly, clients continue coaching with me year after year because they're seeing a continual return on their investment. In my summit session, I'll be sharing the 7 secrets for retaining clients 7 times longer than the average business coach. Here in this brief session, I only have sufficient time to outline all 7 and to give you some detail on 2. So I've made sure they're the really important 2. There are 7 secrets to 7 times client retention. And you know, they're not really secrets, but they may as well be for all the practice they receive. They are: 1. Set strong, clear expectations. 2. Agree clear mutual responsibilities. 3. Coach your clients to manage their time. 4. Be virtually present every day. 5. Manage your sessions professionally. And 6. Develop deep business coaching skills. And finally, 7. Monitor your coaching clients' return on investment. Okay, the first secret: co-create strong and clear expectations with your client about the positive results they expect from working with you. Installing strong processes and systems into both the relationship and the coaching process from the very outset will support those expectations on the part of your client, and it will support you in working effectively together to achieve those expectations. Fail to maintain strong positive expectations to deliver real results, and you'll fail to sustain your client's motivation, and you'll lose them. So the first secret is co-create strong and clear expectations. The second secret: agree clear mutual responsibilities. There is a balance between your responsibilities and your clients. Your client must be clear on and must be willing to uptake the responsibilities that come with being coached. They must be equally clear on the responsibilities you take up in coaching them and the responsibilities that fall outside of your agreement as well. Fail to establish an effective written coaching agreement that provides both parties with clear rules of the game, and you're not only setting a bad business example for your client, but you're also sowing the potential for destructive disagreement when the going gets tough, when you're asking clients to go into a stretch zone. So, agree clear mutual responsibilities. The third of the 7 secrets is coaching your client to better manage their time. Your client was probably already full before discussions about coaching even began. As a business coach, you would be almost painfully aware that coaching with you has the potential to become yet another job for an already overloaded manager. So fail to address this as an issue at the outset of your coaching agreement, and you're already headed for early termination. Worse, however, will be the fact that even during the period for which they do coach with you, there's likely to be little implementation of the commitments to action that you reached in session, and so there's likely to be very little in the way of results from their investment of time and money with you. Now, the truth is that they simply can't, don't, or won't find the time to put their coaching outcomes into action. So why do I say that this is worse than early termination? Because in your now ex-client's mind, coaching doesn't work. Then you and our profession gain another black eye. We've developed our own time management system. We've had to, and it's an integral part of our coaching method. But that aside, I believe that every business coach must ensure that their client uses a time management system effective enough to carve an extra hour or more out of every day. You can then use 1 hour of that saved time once a week to coach your client, then guide them to then use the remaining 4 hours to work on their business, to implement their coaching outcomes. In my seminar, I'll give you more detail on what we see as the essential elements that a coaching-linked time management system must have. And I'll share documentation on how to develop your own, or how to use ours if you wish, and to then incorporate that into your coaching for a huge increase in traction and coaching effectiveness. The fourth secret, be virtually present every day. Now, that does not mean two-way contact. That does not mean extra work for your client. That does not entail any significant effort on your part. But it does mean a huge gain in your awareness of your client's day-to-day progress, their state of mind, their priority management, and their time and people management progress. How do you achieve this? You agree with your client that they will copy you on their day's diary page. In our time management system, this is their daily task sheet, and it goes well beyond a mere diary or daytimer page, but is short, sharp, and efficient nonetheless. And I've shown one here on the screen. Completed, not very neatly, but certainly productively. Clients don't fill this out for you. That would be another job added to their workload. They don't tidy it up for exactly the same reason. They simply email or scan fax it to you in its original state at the end of their day. Learning to read, and to read between the lines of, a client's daily task sheet is something of an art form, but it's an art form that puts you inside their head and inside their business at a cost to you of between 2 and 5 minutes a day and 1 minute to fax or email it on theirs. But the difference that makes to your coaching and to their experience of being coached daily, incredible. It's hard in this short time to impress upon you the sheer power of this technique, but it is one of the great secrets to taking your coaching and your client's experience of coaching with you to a whole new level. So secret number 3 was coach your client to better manage their time, and number 4 was use the system to be virtually present every day. Now we come to number 5, and it's here that I'm going to give you some detail, and you may wish to replay and take notes on this one. Number 5 is manage the coaching session professionally. Do that in a way that honours the true value of your client's time and your own. It is a critical realisation on the part of any business coach that being coached by you or anyone else is yet another job for an already busy manager, and a 1-hour job at that. Not to mention the time required to delegate, oversee or implement the commitments to action that arise from the session. Yet another reason why we focus so sharply in secret number 4 on optimizing our client's time use. If you don't support your client with time management, they'll never find the time to apply the coaching outcomes. When they don't apply coaching outcomes, they don't gain a return on their investment of time and money. When they don't gain an ROI, well, you know that story already. While we guide our clients to manage their time at work, during each coaching session we assume the responsibility, and so we've developed systems that run in the background of our consciousness, as it were, enabling us to be simultaneously fully present and focused on our client and their issues and the process of coaching them to solutions. We don't waste precious time with "so tell me about your week" and then spending 15 minutes rambling about everything that happened. We already know what happened from their daily task sheets. We picked up the scent of a few potential issues as they emerged, and so we're on track and in the picture in the first moments of a session. So we don't waste time with idle chatter. We do ensure that we check in. We do ensure we are tuned to our client's state, and we do take responsibility for co-creating a productive agenda that's relevant to our client and their situation at the moment. To support us in that, we use a Gold Coaching Session Worksheet. That worksheet is based on the Gold Coaching model we've developed specifically to meet the unique needs of business coaching as distinct from personal coaching. The worksheet keeps us on track, on topic, and in the moment, and guides us through the Gold cycle for each topic. Now, in a moment, I'll show you a sample of a completed Gold Coaching Worksheet. But let me work you through Gold for a moment. You'll probably be familiar with the GROW model for coaching: goals, reality check, options, and wrap up. Well, in Gold, G is for goals, and stated never as problems, always as desired outcomes. our beginning with every client is clarifying goals. There's no point in a session going ahead until coach and client have agreed on one or more common goals. That may take some time, but it's essential that coaching begins with one or more clear goals. To paraphrase Charles Kettering, a desired outcome clearly stated is a problem half solved. So G is for goals. O breaks down to an examination of obstacles and opportunities, which are always two sides of the one coin. Another O is options, and if you can't see a way to do it, what else could you do instead, in other words? And O is for orientation. How are you looking at the issue? Is there a more constructive, empowering perspective or paradigm that you could use, and might it reveal a solution hidden in the problem? It's essential here that you continually develop and apply your own deep business acumen to sense the powerful questions that, for your client, can uncover powerful solutions. O is opportunity, obstacle, options, and orientation, and forms the framework of the second part of discussion, or the next step of discussion after clarification of goals. Now, L in our world is for learning, and it's on this vital point that GOLD diverges from GROW. I believe that GROW makes the assumption that the client is infinitely resourceful, whereas GOLD accepts that it may take more than strong will and good intentions to resolve a business issue. It's likely, in fact, to take knowledge and skill which your client is missing or has not yet realized they possess. As their business coach, you must have processes for guiding your client to acquire new skills and knowledge that are presently beyond their ken and maybe beyond yours. In fact, even if you possess the knowledge, mentoring them, telling them the answers, may not be the most empowering solution with which to fill the void. I personally have a huge and growing library of bite-sized chunks of information, paradigms, processes, mini-systems, and some formal self-learning manuals that I've developed and gathered over the years to address the knowledge and skill gaps that are most common in business coaching clients. And I quite shamelessly borrow them from everywhere. I acknowledge where I got them from, but I'll pick up tools from anywhere that I see that may have a potential future use for a client. And by tools I mean small articles, methods of doing things, templates, insights, etc. Even full reference books, etc. I stress that these are formatted, once I've got them, for self-learning. Once a client's gone through a chunk of their content, I'll usually then coach them on the application and mastery of that particular skill or knowledge. I do not sit down with them and walk them through it. I may walk them through the key points after they've studied themselves and get their version of it back, and then make minor adjustments on their understanding, but it's self-learning by client and then coaching to realization, practical implementation in the coaching. So that's the L. It's critical. Lastly, we come to D. D is for doing, the decisions reached in coaching. What will my client be doing in the coming days or weeks to implement the insights and solutions they've discerned from our coaching together? To whom will they delegate various tasks? How will they measure their results? What could get in their road, and how do they plan to handle that in advance? I'm sure you have your own favourite questions for nailing down the commitments to action that move your clients and their business forward, the commitments that produce the results and justify their coaching investment. D is for do, which brings us to the end of the detail I want to share with you on secret number 5, which is manage the coaching session professionally. On screen, you'll see a gold coaching session worksheet, and you may want to pause the presentation here just to have a look at that. Secret number 6 is to develop deep coaching skills and learn to apply them with a supportive framework of systems and processes. Using routines and structures enables you to remain fully present and aware of your client's state at the same time as you guide their problem solving and facilitate their personal change. Systems ensure that you never lose sight of the overall context of their business and your overriding responsibility to ensure long-term profitable outcomes from coaching with you. It is so easy to get lost in the detail of discussion with a client. You must have an outside framework, an outside mind map to make sure that you can return to course at the appropriate time. By the way, any coach who confuses the concept of dancing in the moment with formless discussion will lose business clients, and quickly. The secret to developing ever deepening coaching skills is what I call iterative learning. In the business coaching context, that means the alternation of real business coaching with the ongoing study of every aspect of business by you, from accounting and financial interpretation to leadership, to production processes, to marketing, to commercial compliance and beyond. You even need to know a little about tax and law, or at least enough about them to realize when your client might be in danger from those issues. It's a process of continually using your accumulating business knowledge to see and understand more about the world in which your clients' challenges arise than you did the month or year before. I believe you must also become and remain aware of the commercial landscape common to your business clients, their national and local economy, and their market, industry or specialty. You don't need to become a specialist, that's their role. In fact, we say to clients who might question our ability to coach them and question our experience in their industry, they say, well, you don't know our industry, how can you undertake to coach me? And our answer usually is, with a slight smile, well, we expected you to be the expert in your industry. We're just the experts in coaching you to improve your performance. I do believe you have a professional responsibility to become an informed generalist, capable of bringing a wider perspective and of seeing a wider context to your clients' issues. At the same time, I feel that you must see yourself as being on a never-ending journey of discovery about coaching, and for me that means learning from the talk and writings of great coaches, of great business talkers and leaders, and being curious about every aspect of human behaviour. So, secret number 6, developing deep coaching skills, means you keep your business clients longer. And the last secret, number 7, you remember Tom Cruise in, what was it? I've forgotten the name, Tobey Maguire I think it was, and his client used to hammer him on the phone and say, "Show me the money." Well, secret number 7 lines up with that. Track your client's return on their coaching investment. Ensure that you and your client regularly measure the financial impact of coaching together. While the issues worked on may relate to personnel, leadership, systems, production, sales, productivity or marketing, everything in business is reflected in the bottom line, immediately or eventually. The thing that sets professional and effective business coaching apart from the mob, the thing that makes them successful, is their continual awareness that this is about business. Sure, it's about coaching people. Often it's about facilitating clients moving through personal issues. But it's about coaching people who are engaged in an enterprise for profit. We say to our clients that life is more than having a pulse, but you can't have a life without one. In the same way, business is more than making a profit, but you can't have a business without one. Not for long at any rate. And what about not-for-profits? I can almost hear someone thinking, well, they have to manage money even better than their commercial peers. They may need a true commercial business coach more than most. That brings me to the end of this introduction to the 7 secrets of 7 times client retention. I look forward to sharing much more detail with you in my summit session. I don't plan on repeating what I've said here in that session. I'll summarize this content briefly in that session, just to put some context on, but then I'll go on to add and share a whole new layer of information, tips, ideas, and some director's cut tools that the Profit Tune team and I have developed over the last 11 years. It's the really good stuff that we normally only share in-house. And that session will be topped off with what I call a game changer. So be sure to join me again at the summit. Thank you all for sharing this time with me, and back to you, Ben.